Hello everyone. Welcome to Old Coins News. Did you know that even an ordinary $quarter coin in your pocket could have special value in the collector market? Today we'll explore the history, design, rare errors and potential value of an interesting American coin. Be sure to watch the video until the end, because you may discover valuable information that could be very useful for your coin collection. So, let's get started. The 1965 Washington $quarter is one of the most important coins in modern American coinage history because it marked a major transition in the composition of United States quarters. Before 1965, Washington quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage during the early 1960s, the U.S. government decided to remove silver from circulating quarters. As a result, the 1965 quarter became the first regular-issue Washington quarter struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition. This historic change makes the 1965 quarter a significant coin for collectors and historians alike. The coin was produced by the United States Mint and was released into circulation in large quantities to help solve the coin shortage that affected commerce throughout the country. On the obverse, or front side, of the coin appears the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The portrait was designed by sculptor John Flanagan and been used on Washington quarters since 1932. Above Washington's head appears the word Liberty, representing freedom and the values upon which the United States was founded. To the left of the portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the date 1965 appears at the bottom. Unlike earlier quarters, the 1965 issue carried no mint mark, regardless of where it was produced. The U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins struck between 1965 and 1967 in an effort to discourage coin collecting and hoarding during the coin shortage. The reverse side of the 1965 quarter features a majestic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows. Beneath the arrows are two olive branches symbolizing peace, while the arrows represent military strength and readiness. Above the eagle appears the inscription, United States of America, and below it is the denomination $quarter. Across the top of the eagle's head is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This design also was created by John Flanagan and remained in use for decades until the introduction of the state quarter program in 1999. The reverse design reflects the nation's strength, unity, and commitment to liberty. The most important feature of the 1965 quarter is its clad composition. Instead of silver, the coin consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition gives the coin a total weight of 5.67 grams and a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The edge of the coin reveals a distinct copper-colored stripe, making it easy to distinguish from earlier silver quarters. The introduction of clad coinage in 1965 represented a technological and economic solution that allowed the government to continue producing coins without relying on increasingly expensive silver supplies. Because of the transition away from silver, many Americans saved 1964 and earlier silver quarters, while the new 1965 quarters entered circulation in enormous numbers. More than 1.8 billion quarters dated 1965 were produced, making them among the most common Washington quarters. Despite this huge mintage, collectors still seek high-grade examples that show strong details, brilliant surfaces, and minimal contact marks. Coins preserved in mint state condition can be worth significantly more than face value, especially those certified by professional grading services. Another fascinating aspect of the 1965 quarter involves rare errors and varieties. Some examples were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets intended for 1964 quarters. These rare error coins contain silver and can be identified by their weight and the absence of the copper-colored edge. Authentic examples have sold for thousands of dollars at auction because of their rarity and historical significance. Other collectible errors include off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, and dramatic strike-through errors. Such unusual pieces attract strong interest from collectors and can command substantial premiums depending on condition and rarity. When evaluating a 1965 quarter, collectors examine several factors including luster, strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Uncirculated examples with original mint luster are especially desirable. Coins graded MS65 or higher often bring higher prices, while exceptionally preserved specimens can be worth considerably more. Professional certification helps verify authenticity and grade, increasing buyer confidence in the coin's value. Historically, the 1965 Washington quarter represents a turning point in American monetary history. It symbolizes the end of circulating silver coinage in everyday commerce, and the beginning of the clad era that continues today. For many collectors, the coin serves as a reminder of changing economic conditions during the 1960s and the government's efforts to modernize the nation's coinage system. Although common in circulated condition, the 1965 quarter remains a fascinating and important piece of United States numismatic history, connecting collectors to a period of significant change in American coin production. Today, the 1965 Washington quarter remains one of the most widely recognized U.S. coins. Millions still circulate or reside in collections across the country. While most examples are worth only face value in worn condition, high-grade specimens and rare era varieties continue to attract attention from collectors and investors. Whether found in pocket change, inherited collections, or coin albums, the 1965 quarter stands as a historic milestone that marked the beginning of a new chapter in American coinage. The 1966 Washington quarter dollar is an important coin in the history of modern United States coinage. It was issued during a period of significant change for American currency, just 1 year after the historic removal of silver from circulating quarters. By 1966, the United States was facing increasing demand for coinage, and the government continued its efforts to address coin shortages that had affected commerce across the nation. The 1966 quarter retained the familiar Washington quarter design that Americans had known for decades, but unlike quarters produced before 1965, it was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than 90% silver. This change marked a new era in U.S. coin production and helped ensure an adequate supply of coins for everyday transactions. The obverse, or front side, of the 1966 quarter features the left-facing portrait of George Washington. The design was created by renowned sculptor John Flanagan and was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, a powerful symbol of American freedom and independence. To the left of Washington is the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the date 1966 appears beneath the portrait. One notable feature of the 1966 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the years 1965 through 1967, the United States Mint intentionally removed mint marks from circulating coins to discourage coin hoarding and collecting during the nationwide coin shortage. The reverse side of the coin displays an eagle with wings spread wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows. Beneath the arrows are olive branches representing peace, while the arrows symbolize military preparedness and national defense. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America, and below is the denomination quarter dollar. Positioned above the eagle is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase reflects the unity of the states that make up the nation. The reverse design is both elegant and patriotic, showcasing themes of strength, unity, and peace that have long been associated with the United States. The composition of the 1966 Washington quarter is one of its most significant characteristics. The coin is made of an outer layer consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Unlike earlier silver quarters, the edge of the 1966 quarter reveals a visible copper-colored stripe. This feature quickly became a familiar sight to Americans and remains one of the easiest ways to distinguish clad quarters from their silver predecessors. The transition to clad coinage was largely driven by rising silver prices, which had made silver coins too expensive to produce for circulation. Production numbers for the 1966 quarter were extraordinarily high. More than 821 million pieces were struck, making it one of the most common quarters in American coinage history. Because of this large mintage, circulated examples are generally worth face value today. However, collectors seek out high-grade uncirculated examples that retain their original mint luster and sharp details. Coins certified in superior mint state grades can command premiums, especially if they exhibit exceptional eye appeal and minimal contact marks. As a result, condition plays a major role in determining the value of a 1966 quarter. Collectors are also interested in the various errors and varieties that can be found among 1966 quarters. Error coins such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, doubled dies, strike-through errors, and die cracks can be worth considerably more than ordinary examples. Some of the most famous errors involve coins struck on incorrect planchets intended for other denominations. These unusual mistakes occurred during the minting process and escaped into circulation, making them highly desirable to collectors. Rare error examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their uniqueness and state of preservation. When evaluating a 1966 quarter, numismatists pay close attention to the quality of the strike, surface preservation, luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins that have never circulated often display bright mint luster and crisp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Professional grading services assign numerical grades based on these characteristics, with higher grades generally translating into higher market values. Collectors often search bankrolls, estate collections, and coin shows, hoping to find superior examples that have survived in exceptional condition. Historically, the 1966 Washington quarter represents the continuation of a major transformation in American coinage. It reflects a time when the nation adapted its monetary system to economic realities while maintaining the classic designs that Americans recognized and trusted. The coin serves as a reminder of the transition from precious metal coinage to modern clad coinage, a change that permanently altered the composition of circulating U.S. coins. For collectors and historians, the 1966 quarter provides valuable insight into the economic challenges and technological innovations of the mid-1960s. Today, the 1966 Washington quarter remains a familiar coin found in collections and occasionally in circulation. While most examples are common, high-grade specimens and dramatic mint errors continue to attract attention from collectors around the world. The coin's historical significance, combined with its role in the evolution of American currency, makes it an essential piece for anyone interested in United States numismatics. Whether viewed as a simple circulating coin or a historical artifact, the 1966 Washington quarter stands as an enduring symbol of an important chapter in American monetary history. The 1967 Washington quarter dollar is one of the most historically significant coins of the modern era of United States coinage. Issued during a period of major economic and monetary change, the 1967 quarter represents the final year of the emergency measures introduced by the U.S. government to combat coin shortages and public hoarding. Like the 1965 and 1966 quarters, the 1967 issue was struck without a mint mark and featured the new copper-nickel clad composition that had replaced the traditional 90% silver alloy. The coin circulated widely across America and became an essential part of everyday commerce during a time when the nation's coinage system was undergoing a dramatic transformation. The obverse of the 1967 Washington quarter features the famous portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington's profile faces left, and above his head appears the word liberty, symbolizing the ideals of freedom and democracy. To the left is the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the date 1967 is displayed below the portrait. The design had already been in use for more than 3 decades and was one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. During 1967, the United States Mint continued its policy of omitting mint marks from circulating coins. Officials believed that removing mint marks would discourage collectors from hoarding coins and would help keep more coins in circulation. The reverse side of the 1967 quarter displays a powerful American eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing the nation's strength and readiness to defend itself. Beneath the arrows are olive branches representing peace and goodwill. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, while the denomination quarter dollar appears below. Across the upper portion of the design is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase reflects the unity of the American states and has appeared on United States coins for generations. The reverse design combines patriotic symbolism with artistic simplicity, making it one of the most enduring designs in American numismatic history. One of the defining characteristics of the 1967 Washington quarter is its clad composition. The coin is made from outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. The edge of the coin reveals a visible copper stripe, which distinguishes it from silver quarters minted before 1965. This composition was introduced because the value of silver had risen significantly, making silver coins expensive to produce and encouraging people to hoard them. The new clad composition allowed the government to produce coins efficiently while maintaining public confidence in the nation's currency. The mintage of the 1967 Washington quarter was exceptionally high, exceeding 1.5 billion pieces. This enormous production was part of the government's effort to eliminate coin shortages and ensure that sufficient quantities of quarters were available for commerce. As a result, 1967 quarters remain very common today and can often still be found in circulation. Because so many were produced, most circulated examples are worth only their face value. However, collectors continue to search for high-grade examples that display exceptional luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks. The 1967 quarter is particularly popular among collectors because of its variety of mint errors and unusual striking anomalies. Some examples feature doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, die cracks, strike-through errors, and other minting mistakes. Certain dramatic errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. Collectors also look for coins struck on incorrect planchettes, which are among the most valuable error types. These unusual pieces provide insight into the minting process and are highly sought after within the numismatic community. Special attention is often given to 1967 special mint set quarters. During the years 1965 through 1967, the United States Mint did not produce traditional proof sets. Instead, it issued special mint sets, commonly referred to as SMS coins. These coins were struck with greater care than regular circulation issues and often exhibit enhanced detail, smoother surfaces, and a more attractive appearance. High-grade SMS quarters, especially those with cameo or deep cameo contrast, are highly prized by collectors and can command significant premiums in the marketplace. When evaluating a 1967 quarter, experts examine factors such as strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and eye appeal. Coins that have remained uncirculated for decades are especially desirable. Professional grading services assign numerical grades ranging from poor to mint state, and the highest graded examples often achieve impressive prices at auction. Collectors value coins that show strong details in Washington's hair, sharp lettering, and minimal marks from handling or storage. Historically, the 1967 Washington quarter marks the end of a unique three-year period in United States coinage. After 1967, mint marks returned to American coins, and the emergency measures introduced during the coin shortage came to an end. The coin therefore serves as a tangible reminder of an important chapter in American monetary history. It reflects the challenges faced by the government during the 1960s and the solutions implemented to modernize the nation's coinage system. Today, the 1967 Washington quarter remains a fascinating coin for collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts. Although common in circulated condition, its historical importance, connection to the transition away from silver coinage, and potential for valuable errors make it an attractive addition to any collection. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited from a family collection, or purchased from a coin dealer, the 1967 quarter continues to tell the story of a transformative era in American numismatics. Its enduring design, rich symbolism, and historical significance ensure that it remains one of the most studied and collected modern United States coins. The 1968 Washington quarter dollar is a significant coin in the history of United States coinage because it marked the return of mint marks after a three-year absence. Following the coin shortages of the mid-1960s, the U.S. government had temporarily removed mint marks from circulating coins produced between 1965 and 1967. By 1968, the situation had improved, and mint marks once again appeared on American coinage. The 1968 Washington quarter continued the copper-nickel clad composition, introduced in 1965, replacing the traditional 90% silver alloy that had been used for decades. Although common in circulation, The 1968 quarter remains an important collectible because it represents a key period in the evolution of modern United States coinage. The obverse of the 1968 quarter features the distinguished portrait of George Washington. This design was created by celebrated sculptor John Flanagan and was originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth. Above Washington's head appears the word liberty, symbolizing the principles of freedom and democracy that form the foundation of the United States. To the left of the portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the date 1968 is displayed below. For coins struck at the Denver Mint, a small D mint mark appears on the obverse near the date, while coins struck at the San Francisco Mint for proof sets carry an S mint mark. Philadelphia circulation strikes continued without a mint mark. The reverse side of the coin displays one of the most recognizable designs in American numismatic history. At the center stands a powerful eagle with wings fully extended. The eagle rests upon a bundle of arrows, representing the nation's strength and readiness to defend its freedoms. Beneath the arrows are olive branches, symbolizing peace and prosperity. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, while the denomination quarter dollar appears below. Across the upper portion of the reverse is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase reflects the unity of the states that together form the United States and has long been a central theme in American coinage. The composition of the 1968 Washington quarter reflects the modern clad coinage system introduced just a few years earlier. The coin consists of outer layers made from 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. It weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. One easy way to distinguish a clad quarter from a pre-1965 silver quarter is by examining the edge. The copper core creates a visible reddish-brown stripe along the edge, whereas silver quarters display a solid silver-colored edge. This new composition helped reduce production costs, while ensuring an adequate supply of coins for circulation. The 1968 quarter was produced in very large numbers to meet the needs of the American economy. Hundreds of millions of circulation strike quarters were minted, making the coin common in everyday commerce. Because of its high mintage, most circulated examples are worth only face value. However, collectors often seek uncirculated examples with strong mint luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks. High-grade specimens certified by professional grading services can command substantial premiums, especially when they exhibit exceptional eye appeal and outstanding preservation. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1968 quarter is the introduction of proof coinage production at the San Francisco Mint. Beginning in 1968, proof coins were no longer produced in Philadelphia. Instead, the San Francisco Mint became the primary facility for proof coinage. These proof quarters were specially struck using polished dies and carefully prepared planchets to create mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. Collectors highly value proof examples, particularly those displaying deep cameo contrast. High-grade proof coins remain popular among numismatists and often form an essential part of complete Washington quarter collections. Error coins from 1968 are also of considerable interest to collectors. Various minting mistakes have been discovered, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, and strike-through errors. Some quarters were accidentally struck on incorrect planchets intended for other denominations, creating rare and valuable mint errors. These unusual pieces provide insight into the minting process and often attract strong demand from specialized collectors. Depending on rarity and condition, certain 1968 quarter errors have sold for significant amounts at auction. When evaluating a 1968 quarter, collectors examine several important characteristics. Strike quality is especially important because weakly struck coins can lack detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Luster is another key factor, as original mint luster adds significantly to a coin's attractiveness and value. Surface preservation is carefully assessed, with coins free from scratches, marks, and discoloration generally receiving higher grades. Professional grading services use standardized grading scales to determine a coin's condition, and top-grade examples often command premium prices in the numismatic marketplace. Historically, the The 1968 Washington quarter symbolizes a return to stability in American coin production following the challenges of the mid-1960s. The reintroduction of mint marks signaled that the coin shortage crisis was easing and that normal minting practices could resume. At the same time, the continued use of clad composition demonstrated the success of the government's efforts to modernize the nation's coinage system. The coin therefore represents both continuity and change, preserving traditional designs while embracing new materials and production methods. Today, the 1968 Washington quarter remains a favorite among collectors because of its historical significance, accessibility, and variety of collectible forms. Whether found in circulation, acquired as part of a proof set, or sought after for rare mint errors, the coin continues to attract interest from numismatists around the world. Its connection to a transformative period in United States monetary history makes it more than just a $quarter coin. It serves as a lasting reminder of the economic and technological developments that shaped modern American coinage. For collectors building a Washington quarter collection, the 1968 issue remains an essential and fascinating piece of numismatic history.